Hi again. It's the same day as the previous fix-up video for this was published, but I think I already want to get to work on the last few stages of tweaks. So I have a big list of like 15 items that I still need to get done for this, so it's not... my work is definitely not finished here. So I played, after I recorded that last night, I played, I couldn't resist playing a few more rounds. Got some really good scores. I got a 90% on Pandemonium Expert, which, you know, is mostly a pure stamina chart, but like, the stamina I've built up from playing Pump It Up was definitely helping me here. Like, that was a big surprise. Anyway, so it's playable, certainly, but a bunch of things were really bothering me when I was stepping here. So first one is, like, listen to this. When I release the panel, I assume that's audible to the camera, it kind of makes this, like, tape sticky sound as it comes back up. I think the foam tape that I put in... Where's my finger? Oh, I'm pointing at the wrong panel. I'm like... I thought my finger was here, but it was here, and that was a super confusing experience. Anyway, I think the foam tape that I put on the corners has like a little sticky edge on it, just like along, like there, and the panel's catching on it, so I think just a layer of this stuff on top should be able to fix that problem. Gotta tweak sensitivity a whole bunch. I think what I'm gonna do for this sensor is just, it's way too sensitive to be anywhere. I think I'm just gonna swap these two, put the way too sensitive one on the outside, and just unplug it. Yeah, because I have a not very sensitive sensor over there. Actually, do I even have... No, I don't have a plugged-in sensor there at all at the moment. Okay. What did I put there? Okay. Well, whatever is there is not plugged in. Okay, well, I'll swap that sensor with something. I don't have enough good sensors. I think I'm going to have to get some new ones, because I'd like them all to work properly, and these definitely do not. Because, yeah, I got an unplugged one here, unplugged one here. So why do I have a third one? I don't know. I'm going to get in there and figure that out. Oh, no, it is there. It's just, like, not very sensitive. Yeah, when I press this from the left side, the right sensor comes on before the left one does, or around the same time. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, I want to fix the stickiness, fix the annoying sensor, and another thing is just, like, generally stepping on this, it's not super noticeable barefoot, just kind of gingerly walking around, but, like, when I'm actually stomping on it properly when I'm playing, I just get this kind of general, like, it's really hard to quantify, but it's like this weird icky feeling. I think, I have a theory for why it is. You know, it's a little bit creaky, a little bit, I don't know, crunchy, kind of. I have a theory that maybe what I actually want to do is, so when I took everything out and cleaned it up, I put that dry metal back in there on top of the dry frame, and I think, like, just little tiny bits of dust in there crunch around. I'm going to try applying some lubrication in between the metal parts that sit on the frame and the frame itself, and see if that helps. Probably just a little bit of WD-40 or something. Because, yeah, my SX pads that I cleaned similarly are also pretty creaky like that. So I might apply that same fix there. The GX ones that I didn't clean as thoroughly they almost feel nicer to step on, so it's like I want a little bit of dirt or grease or something in there. Like, I don't want it just absolutely clean and sterile. So yeah, I'm going to try taking some of that stuff out, greasing the bottom of it, put it all back in, and see if it helps. Another thing is, I didn't do this because I knew I would be taking them back out right away and, you know, replacing these screws and everything. But these, right, these are super rusty screws. They came out of my GX pad, which was super duper rusty when I got it. That was an ordeal to get open. However, after I replaced all of the surface screws in that, then got this machine, played on it for 5 months, put it away, got this one back out, everything had rusted again. So, that is a definite issue. I looked around to figure out what it takes to prevent those, and once again, WD-40 is supposed to be the answer. You just spray it a little bit on the screws and the threads. My preferred way is to spray it on a Q-tip and just sort of rub it on there. So I'm going to do that with every screw, these and also the ones that hold these panels on, like the ones that go here and here, that you can't see right now, because I would love to be able to take this all back apart again, you know, in 3 years or something when I decide I need to clean it. Because, so these back here that hold the bars on, they have this super sticky, stinky, super nasty, icky goop all over them. It gets all over my hands when I mess with them, but that goop turns out to be super awesome because those things come out and go back in with zero trouble. So yeah, just need some grease. Gotta grease the whole thing, and I hope that'll make it better. I learn, every time I work on one of these, I learn so many new things that I need to do to it, so it gets to be more and more work each time. Alright, I'm gonna get to work. Alright, player one side's all taken apart again. This doesn't seem as bad when I do just one side at a time. It sure would have been nice if I had known I needed to do this before I did all this work of putting it back together, but I didn't know at that point that I needed to do it. So while I was at it, I went ahead and swapped. This is the left side. This is the left, even though it looks like the right from this angle. I swapped this way oversensitive sensor with that one. And when I plugged this in this position, I tapped it a little bit, then got it to a point where the LED was just staying on all the time. So I'm just going to leave that sensor unplugged for now. I'm putting an X on the sensors that I want to leave unplugged. Also have one down here. This was another that exhibited that sort of behavior. So once I'm done with this process, I'll know how many I need to buy to replace the bad ones here. Because yeah, I already have, I'm up to, what is it, 4, I think, that have to just be unplugged because they're no good, and some pretty iffy ones beyond that, and I haven't even really gotten to this on the Player 2 pad yet. Anyway, so, right, so, what I want to do here, these are the screw holes. That's interesting. They're, look at how this is. These are sort of left, these are sort of right from this perspective. Why would that be? So I guess these plates, those screw holes are slightly farther in than the switch frames? Okay, well, I learned something new. Anyway, so that means this would not be interchangeable with, like, you couldn't just stick pump it up panels on it, which you couldn't anyway because this is the wrong size. Anyway, where was I? Train of thought. So all these surfaces with, like, or it's worn through to the bare metal here. Oh yeah, that's like just running my fingers along that. That feels kind of gritty a little bit. So that would explain why standing on it made crunchy noises. So I just want to put a little bit of WD-40 all along, like, basically all of this entire surface here. I could just kind of spray it on, but this stuff has a tendency to go everywhere and make a huge mess. When I've done this before, I've sprayed it on a Q-tip and rubbed it in, like, screw threads here. Problem is that it goes through Q-tips very quickly. Like, I'll spray it on, do like 8 of these, and then this will just be completely black, and I have to switch to the other end, do 8 more, and, you know, just feels inefficient. I'm going to try a pipe cleaner, so I'll lubricate that, put it in here, run it up and down to get those lubricated. And this sort of spongy paintbrush kind of thing, it looks like I did use it for painting once, but it wasn't super great. I don't expect to use it again for that. So I'm going to try and use this as an applicator, just spray WD-40 on it, and then just kind of paint it on, all up in here, to get that all coated. So yeah, don't think I can super easily do that one-handed, so just I'll just describe it and then show the results. Alright, I said I'd show the result, but I guess there's not much to see. There's a little bit of wetness there. It's not very visible, but it's lubricated now. Pipe cleaner's kind of gray now. It seemed to work extremely well. Alright, gonna mount everything back in there. I'll do my usual lube job on these things, which I neglected to do when I put these together before. So yeah, lubrication and reassembly. Sometime later, got that all on, sensor brackets are reattached, they're all lubricated, and I added bits of tape in the corners where I theorized that I had some sticking up and down the panels. So I'll put those back on and see what's up. So I had some trouble getting... oh right, another thing I wanted to mention here. These edge protector strips of tape, it turns out some of these panels are a tighter fit than I thought, and I couldn't get them on all sides here, or the panels wouldn't even sit in there. So I had to compromise by putting like one here, 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 and here, on this one. So the panel might want to rotate just the tiniest little bit, but it shouldn't be enough to bug me. Okay, so there we go. No more sticking noise. Okay, that wasn't the bad one. The bad one was this arrow. So I had a little bit of trouble getting a sensor to replace this oversensitive one. I tried swapping these two, and that was a problem. I have another one with an X on it now. Tried swapping with this one, and then that was a problem, so I have this disconnected, which I kind of not like, because I like the up arrow, up sensor to be connected for hands, because like often when I want to hit that with my hand, I'll hit toward the top of it. I can just try to hit toward the bottom, I guess, but I don't know. Anyway, so that goes on there somehow. Good. Feels good. No oversensitivity, no stickiness. Awesome. So that seems to have solved my problem. So I'll get all these on. This was the really bad one. Do you make sticky noises? No, you do not. Much better. Okay, so that was the problem. Just had to, like, the top surface of this tape, where it, well, can't see on that one, and my other roll is all used up. I have this much left. That's just down to the bare cardboard, so I can't actually use the last little bit of that. So I'll just throw that away then. There was something funny with the electrical tape on one of these. This one here, what's up with that? Actually, yeah, what has happened there? Let's find out. It's like a shiny part. These, I'm finding that these decals on the back are like super fragile. Like any kind of scratch I do on there and will show through. So like don't touch the surface at all if you can avoid it. So what is... I mean, that's all taped up, but when I lay it this way, it looks like silvery. Oh, I see what's happened. It's this silver coating here has folded itself over in a funny way. Okay, no, I'll fix that later. Not gonna bother with it now. Okay. Yeah, that one doesn't quite want to go in there super easily, but it does go. Okay. And this one? No sticky noises. Good. And yeah, just stepping on this in general, I won't be able to tell until I get shoes on and really play on it, but I think that has solved my icky stepping problem. So lots of WD-40 all up in there. Everything's lubricated, and it's much better. Okay, so brackets go on and stuff. So the thing that I would do with these screws, like I was saying, would be spray. Where's my... I used a Q-tip here somewhere. This is the used one. So I just kind of rub this all up and down the... I can't really do it one-handed, like so many things here. But like hold the screw with one hand, turn it around, rub that part of it with the other hand. Just so the underside of the head in particular is lubricated. Lubricating the threads is easy. I just do this, or use the pipe cleaner. But it's the underside of the head where a lot of the rust forms. I mean, you can see it clearly on this one. That's where it is, and that's what sticks it to the thing, I think. Because yeah, the threads are usually pretty healthy when I pull those out. It's just the heads that rust to the stuff. So when I get new screws, that's what I'm going to be doing to them. But that's not yet. All right, brackets on. Now, there we go. I played around and it feels 100% better. Everything is awesome now. So, there is still a little bit of sensitivity tweaking I need to do. I had such an oversensitive sensor in here that I put, like, no extra tape on there, so now it's pretty undersensitive. Yeah! Wow. Pressing as hard as I could with my fingers, I couldn't even get it to do anything. There it goes. But, like, the important zone is, like, right here in the corner, and... has to still press kind of hard, but I can get it to... I don't know. The way I position my feet, I think I almost always hit the inner sensors anyway. So like the edge ones are less important, but I do want to fix that because that's way undersensitive. But yeah, I mean, good enough to get this score. So awesome. All right, I'm gonna get set up for streaming because I want to play this on stream. Player 2 pad will happen another day. I'm not gonna do it now. I have this panel open because I was swapping sensors with it. Okay, good. Ah, that feels awesome. Yeah, lubricating that made an enormous difference. Like, no ickiness at all when I step. It just feels awesome. Okay, so now I know that's a really, really good thing to do. Cool! Stream time! Alright, stream happened. It's a couple of days later. I got some pretty good scores and I did it. It was a good time. Got the player 2 side pretty much all fixed up, and did some more tweaks on player 1 to get it working better. So I swapped some sensors around. This one should be good now. It was giving me some trouble during the stream. Yeah, all of them pretty much are in good shape. I didn't have enough, annoyingly. I don't have a good sensor here or here. Those two spots are sensorless right now, so I just have to do with... I mean, the inner sensors are the most important ones, and I don't know for sure it's going to be a problem yet, but yeah, I've ordered 12 new sensors, which might be more than I need, but I tacked a few on, and the place I'm ordering from has a $100 minimum, so I had to order a few more than I needed anyway. So I'll have some spares, swap them around some more once the replacements get here. So that should be nice. But I tried this a little bit, played in a couple of rounds of double mode, and it seems usable. So that's good. So during the stream, I played for over an hour and learned some of the things that I really need to tweak. So annoyances that I've noticed at the moment. These lights are way too bright. They shine in my face and it's super obnoxious. For this machine and this machine, I put little circles of paper up here. You can kind of sort of see that it's just opaque white in there. I'm gonna take those lights off and do the same thing. They're the same lights as far as I can tell. Hardware seems to be identical. In the process, I'm gonna rebend this. Now I do need to check. There are two white lights and two yellowish green lights. The yellow-green ones are here at opposite corners. I'm wondering if they're supposed to be both on the same, like both on the top or both on the bottom. I should check on that and swap them if necessary, just so this is fully correct. Other things, USB ports, those didn't work. I plugged a drive in and nothing happened. The light on the drive didn't come on or anything, so I think these are just like not even plugged into anything. I looked on the inside and it seemed okay. Maybe I accidentally unplugged something when I had this plate off. So I'm gonna have to open this up and investigate it. It might be a software issue. They might just not be configured. Yeah, so software. Load times. Load times are way too long. I need to do something about that. Several things could be done. MK6 could be upgraded in there. Let's see, can I get in here at all? Kind of. Got my capture hardware cables running out of there. I guess I can show you how I have that set up in there. It's the same as for any other dance machine that I play on. Alright, screw, come on now. Come on out. Alright, so, yeah, not much light here, and it's unfortunate. So yeah, MK6 might need some upgrades. VGA splitter goes there. Other end of it goes to a USB-powered booster and then to the display. I could just use the booster because it's also a splitter, but I don't know. There are reasons to do it this way. And then just a little audio splitter here. So those two cables go into the back of my streaming PC. So there is a USB cable plugged in here. I don't know exactly what it goes to. It sort of runs over here, and I don't know where after that. Oh boy. Yeah, okay, so some troubleshooting to do there. Just put the screw in a little bit to hold that in place. Yeah, and I need to figure out what it's going to take to change up what's on the hard drive, because the song list is not exactly what I want there. I have a different song list on my old. This is the old computer that I used for the pad that I built. So I have all the stuff I want on there. I'm going to have to hook that up and pull it off, copy a bunch of files from there to here somehow. I should probably message the previous owner and ask him how he managed that stuff, because when I start this up, I see Linux booting text, then a green screen for a long time, and then Simply Love is there. If these USB ports are not active right now, then I couldn't just plug a keyboard in and start messing with stuff. Maybe I could do it in the back, directly in the computer. I don't know. So maybe I'll just play around with that, see if I can figure it out on my own, figure out what's wrong with these. And yeah, also I think mostly I just need to reset the stats on the machine. It seems like when it's parsing or saving stats.xml is when it's the slowest. But also, yeah, the MK6 in this thing is just kind of slow. It has way too big a song list. I'm going to take some out and see if that helps. Alright, I'm going to futz around with the software a bit and see if I can figure it out. Alright, that's a good sign. I took this plate off, and there was a not quite fully seated cable there. I put it back on, plugged in a keyboard, and started up and was able to get into BIOS configuration. Can I press the Y button? Here, yes, enter. Okay. So now what do I need to do? I wonder. It's been several years since I've really done anything with Linux. Okay, press Del to enter setup, F11 to enter boot menu. Oh well, I missed my opportunity there. I don't think I want to boot from something else. Okay, so Lilo 2257. Got some stuff there. need to... I was messing with the display framing. I was noticing that that BIOS screen was kind of coming off the top a little bit, so I need to squish it down just a little bit more. The way you do that, by the way, is with these little buttons in here. This control panel is connected up to the monitor, so I can press like a menu button here, this one, and it gives me that. So yeah, I can mess with stuff there if I want to. Okay, so stuff's happening. I'm doing USB keyboard, manufacturer, so it sees it. Fatal errors, which are apparently not fatal. Fatal. Green screen for a long time. Alright, so can I, like, press... Question is, like, what keystroke would I want to press here? I could plug in a mouse. I don't know. I guess I'll let Simply Love start up and see what I can do from there. Alright, OpenITG has started. Key combinations I've tried so far have not really done much of anything. Let's see if this will be recognized in any way. The light's not coming on. There's supposed to be a little light right there. So it says free play. I don't remember exactly how the USB system here works. Like, I think I can just plug it in at any time and it's supposed to recognize it, but it doesn't seem to. Okay, so since the keyboard works well, okay, I mean, let's try this port. Just to be thorough. Come on. Yeah, okay, it's like that's not even getting power, which is weird. Maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe this drive doesn't. No light on the bottom. Maybe this drive doesn't work the way I thought it did. Okay, so since the keyboard works when I plug it in there, that means that the USB ports are live. Okay, keyboard has power. It just doesn't recognize my drive. I'm sure that's formatted correctly. This is the one I was using for other stuff. So that's probably a software or configuration issue. Alright, so operator menu. I always have to press this button a few times before it figures out what I want it to do. Come on now. There it goes. There's a service switch pressed. Can I... Oh boy. Trying to hold this keyboard and also press the... No, up and down arrows don't do anything. That's interesting. Those still work. So it doesn't want to recognize my keyboard. Can I, like... I'm pressing keys and nothing's happening. No? Alright, well... This doesn't want to be controlled by the keyboard. At least when the keyboard's plugged into that USB port. Oh boy, this is going to be tricky, isn't it? Alright, no matter what I do, I'm just not getting any response from this keyboard in OpenITG. At the risk of breaking stuff, let's try selecting a different theme. Let's see what happens. I'm going to try Arcade. Often when I do this in OpenITG, oh, well that's still the same thing. Let's try that again. Select Theme, Defaults. Oh, there we go. All right, we got the this kind of theme going. Nice. System diagnostics. So location machine update. Yeah, nothing. None of that is what I want. I thought I was just there. I am there. What the heck? Don't really know what I'm doing, apparently. Okay, well, I'm on an ITG2 theme now. That's nice. I might leave it this way for a bit. Yeah, okay. Well, now this is like... Okay. Alright, well that's nice. Doesn't help me with messing with the software, though. Okay. Let's just look at this for nostalgia for a bit. Oh, right, load times. Those take a while. Alright. Man. So, I could just, like, take the hard drive out of there and connect it to something else and mess with the files on it. That might be what I end up having to do. Like, what am I planning to do? If I get out of this to some kind of command line or something... Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. Good stuff. So problem with... Oh boy, everything's loud. Problem with using this theme, as much as I like the classic feel to it, these are all the speed mods I get. and that's not enough options. That's actually, honestly, the main reason I would use Simply Love for the better speed options. Okay, well, I'm gonna have to figure out what to do here. Alright, so here's a new wrinkle. Apparently it doesn't like this drive, which is the one I was using on that computer. But this one, that I use for Pump It Up Infinity, when I plug it in, does something interesting. Bzzz. Okay, so it just says no USB. So why didn't it like this drive, and why didn't it even recognize this one? Man, this is weird. Well, I've done something. I'm not sure exactly what I did. I went to the boot menu, then exited it, then it came to a different boot menu. So if I go to mtest, what might that be, I wonder? Oh, memory test. Well, that's not helpful. Might just have to take out the hard drive and hook it up to something and just mess with the files on it, because this is not really getting me anywhere so far. So let's see if I can reproduce that. So I'm going to press F11 to enter boot menu. That took me here. Then I pressed F4 to exit. Then if I don't press anything else, what does this do? Let's learn to use a computer. See, like, I guess what I want to do is get to a command line and then be able to, like, mount a USB drive here and copy songs around and then get to a text editor and mess with configurations and stuff. I guess that's what I want? But yeah, that'll just be easier if I pull out the hard drive and plug it into a... Okay, no, I pressed another keystroke that got me to the boot menu there, I guess, because it didn't happen that time. Okay, well, this is confusing. Hours later, I finally found a solution. Oh boy, this was a tedious process. So here's the hard drive that came out of the inside of this machine. It's an SSD, so that's nice. I took this out. I have a little enclosure that can just plug into that. So I plugged it into my enclosure, plugged in the USB drive into a Mac, and it could not read the file system. So I said, okay, let's try Windows. Plugged it into Windows, could not read the file system. Messed around a whole lot. This is my my computer that I used for running in the groove with my custom-built pad. Messed around, put it on the SATA line, whatever. It would boot from it here. So it's like, yeah, it can read the drive, but Windows and Mac OS just have no idea what the file system is. So I spent a long time figuring out how to create an Ubuntu live USB drive, whatever you call it. I'm tired and annoyed, so I'm not speaking very well, because this is a mess. So finally, I can see the file system. Here it is. That's what's on the drive. There's the machine profile. Stats.xml is probably really big. Properties, yeah, 20 megabytes. That's a good bit of XML. I'll bet if I would just delete this, everything would be a fair bit faster. And you know what? I don't need it, so bye. That's gone. Here, let me just... how do I rename something in this operating system? I can't. Is this read-only? Why would you be read-only? Okay, well maybe I need to, XFS, that's what it is. Okay, so now that I know that, I can probably find some kind of thing that'll let me do it on Windows or on the Mac and have an easier time of it, because I'm a lot less familiar with this operating system. I don't use it very often. And doing it from a live USB, what do you call this thing? I forget what that's called. Anyway, from a bootable USB drive that doesn't really have stuff installed and will reset itself every time I restart is a pain. Okay, so let me see if I can find some way to read and write XFS. I found a solution. Boy, this was a nightmare. Alright, so I have a little hard drive enclosure there, which, well, I have the case off of it, but it would look like this normally. So that's the drive out of my machine. Got it plugged into USB on my PC that I use for most stuff. And in VirtualBox, I have the drive mounted and I'm copying a bunch of songs over to it. So this is like the song list that I was using before for my when I had my custom setup. Okay, not gonna take a peek through the entire file system here. I'll do most of that on my own. It would take too long and be too fiddly. Anyway, yeah, so there was an article here that was very helpful, which I don't know if you can read the URL, I don't know if it's necessary. Anyway, so this just explained how to how to mount this thing. There's some complicated dance I had to do with having Windows make a virtual thingy for the physical drive, that VirtualBox was able to read that. Anyway, so I got write access to that, and I can do what I want. So now that I know what to do, this isn't too terribly big a deal when I want to change stuff around, but I do kind of want to do all the stuff that I need to do here just once, so I don't have to change stuff around. Okay, I'll finish this up and put it back in the machine and see what happens. Okay, it seems that particular nightmare is over. I got my custom theme with the slightly different music here. Let's see what it's done for my songs. Let's see also what this has done for load times. I reset all the stats on the machine and cleared out most of the custom songs. Also, I found a USB drive that works. This is the one that... Oh, hey! Load time's much better. Awesome. That's all fixed up. Yeah, so this was actually the USB drive that I used way back in the day when I used to play on one of these machines, like, I don't know, 12 years ago or something. It's old, it's 128 megabytes, it's formatted as FAT16, the other two were FAT32, so I don't know if that makes a difference maybe, but anyway, that one works. And yeah, it still has my name there, and probably some really old stats from stuff. Okay, so let me check. Alright, so this is here. So I should have stuff like Life of a Butterfly Expert now. I don't. Okay, so I didn't get that part right. That's going to need some work. Yeah, okay, so card has old scores from all sorts of stuff on it. Alright, cool. Alright, great. Well, cool. So I need to figure out why... There's this weird little dance I have to do to get the new expert steps. Like, yeah, Life of a Butterfly Expert was added in, and a few others, like Mellow was another one, were added in the PC version of In the Groove, and they're here, but it's not acknowledging them because I have to do something else with the files in the drive. Anyway, so load times are much better. I got the songs that I want to play in there, so good. That's all fixed up. Yeah-oh, something's wrong. So apparently nothing has steps other than official In the Groove 1 and 2 songs. They list steps, but like when I play them, nothing comes up. Well, this is weird. Yeah. I think I know kind of what... Yeah, okay, so 378 steps, but nothing shows up. However, if I go back to, one of these... Like, this will have steps. Starts with the quad. I'm gonna hit it. I hit it. I got an excellent. Yeah, so steps are here, but not there. That's really weird. Okay, well, I have a suspicion I might know what's up with that. I'm gonna see if I can fix it. Okay, I fixed it. I think. Kind of. I have steps here at least, so that's something. So, this is, I've learned a bunch of stuff. I got a reply from the previous owner with instructions on how to set up custom songs here. It's a lot more involved than I thought. In the meantime, while I was waiting for his reply, I figured out most of it myself. The key component I was missing was apparently I have to copy a catalog.xml generated by OpenITG on my computer to the hard drive because it doesn't generate it itself. So I have, my song list is all kinds of messed up now. This is the name that I used for Rebirth 2 in my own custom setup. This is what's in my catalog.xml. This one works. This is the one that was on the machine in the Groove Rebirth 2 Beta v2.0. If I play this Marrakech, it's not going to have steps. So, unless the names match exactly what's in the catalog, and there's multiple catalog.xmls on the hard drive, I replaced one of them and it didn't work, I replaced another one and then it started working. I probably should have made some better backups, yeah, no steps there, better backups before I started messing with all this stuff. I didn't know it would be this fragile. I guess I expected it to be a little easier to swap this stuff out. It was like, I've messed with OpenITG before, but this is a slightly different animal. This is... Yeah, it's more complicated. Okay, well, still got some stuff to learn. I need to fix up my song list, but at least I can play stuff now beyond just the official songs. Let's see, I still would not have... Yeah, I still don't have Life of a Butterfly Expert. I don't know what I need to do to get that. That's one yet to figure out. Oh boy, this is complicated. Several days later, I got tired of messing with the software. I'll get it cleaned up a little bit more at some point, but it's playable. It's usable now. I got the back plates on the pads. It took a little bit of effort. You know, they're still chopped up. They still have holes kind of in the wrong place. Don't look super great, but I think it looks better with them on than them off. So, as I said before, some of the holes in the frame down here were not super usable. I had to use some different screws. So most of these did take a normal M4 screw just fine and hold it. I didn't put any here and here because since the frame joint bracket comes over top, I'd have to have some really low profile screw heads, and I don't think these would work super well with that. So this thing just kind of holds those down in those spots. I mean, again, it doesn't look too great to have those holes there, but what are you going to do? I got these, so bigger problems. So in the spots where, let me see if I can find one here. It's hard to tell the difference. I think this screw head's just slightly bigger than this one. I used, let's see, where are the screws that I used? I had them, okay, here they are. Talk about this in a second. So yeah, these are the primary ones that I used for everything where the thread was good. Then I used these, number 8, so American measurements here, number 8 by 3/8 inch, where the hole was the right size, but one of these just wouldn't go in or stay in. Then in places where the hole was like doubled up or too large, I used these slightly larger number 10 screws. And yeah, just kind of let them cut their own threads there. So it works fine. It looks... yeah, like I said, I couldn't really detect which was which. I think this is one of the number 10 ones. Yeah, head's just a tiny bit bigger than the others. But yeah, had to do a little bit of filing to abrade the edges of these so that the screws would fit in all the way. Anyway, I got them on. It's okay. And they're, with all the screws down, they don't rattle anymore, so that's nice. I just got my shipment, finally, of these new M6 screws to replace these. Oh, I got the Player 2 side on, by the way. I guess hadn't had that last time I looked at it. Did a bunch of tweaks, don't have enough sensors, waiting for a shipment of sensors, I'm not sure exactly when it'll get here. It's playable, but it's non-optimal. I can definitely feel when I'm playing double mode the missing sensors on the places where they're not there. So that's bothering me. So yeah, ordered 12 new sensors, they'll be here someday. Anyway, so yeah, I just used these old rusty screws here. I'm going to replace every screw on the surface of this with all of these. That should be enough. I ordered 120 of them, which is more than goes into an entire pad, so I'll have some left over. Do the lubrication on them like I talked about, and yeah, that should be good to go and look much better on the surface. So I've taken off this light. This was the one that had the bent front grille thingy here. It seems like this is like welded together with this piece. I don't remember if that was the case with these. I want to say it wasn't, and like this piece separated from this piece. Here it doesn't. And I just kind of bent it back gently with my fingers, and now it's, you know, it's straightish. About as straight as it's going to get, because I can't separate these two easily. So that's how it's going to be. I'm also doing my usual circle of paper thing to diffuse the lights. Now somebody had a concern about flammability with this. I don't think it's a problem because the way I put it in is like this. I have the paper in here, somehow, like that. Then the piece of plastic between that and the light that's inside here. Oh yeah, these two things were like super stuck together. I had to do some serious prying to get this off. But anyway, I got it off. So yeah, gonna do that. Oh, right. And I looked at a bunch of reference photos. I did figure out that the green light here and here is the normal way for those to be configured, so it's different on the left than on the right, for whatever reason. So I'll keep them that way, just get the circles of paper in there. Also in the reference photos I found, most of them had the bars here, so the center position is nice. And yeah, after having played on these for a while, it actually feels pretty good to have them there. It's a little closer than pump bars, but pump bars are pretty far back, honestly. Alright, so circles of paper into the things, screws replaced. I guess I should deal with this issue. I don't want to for some reason. It doesn't look great, but I just don't want to mess with it. Alright, I'll be back. Alright, got all the little circles of paper installed, so those should be nice and diffused now. Not shining in my face super bright. So, shiny new screws. Going in. Looking pretty good. I'm going to try and save myself some time doing this. I put them all in just like half a turn or so. I have this Q-tip here that's already been soaked by WD-40. I'm just going to run it all along down there and like the top of the screw on every single one of these. And hopefully that'll keep them looking shiny and new. Probably want to get the top a little bit too, because rust does accumulate there. Alright, I'm going to do that for every screw in the pad and tighten them down. There we go, that's looking nice. All these nice new shiny screws installed. Looking good. Okay, so that's about all I'm going to do on this today. I'm reasonably satisfied with this at this point. A few software tweaks to do, still got to deal with this. Those are done. Yep, still got a few items left on my to-do list, but this is looking pretty good at this point. Okay, I'm going to play on this for a while, wait for new sensors to arrive, then do the last few little tweaks. So here's some good news. I think I can actually put the original angle iron piece on here. I just was never quite satisfied with this replacement that I had fabricated. It's too short, it's the wrong texture, the holes aren't in the right place, and you know, I had said early on that I would try working with this bent up piece and see if I could get it straightened out. And I actually took some time with a hammer and some other tools and worked at it for a while, and I think it's fixed. Like, it's not perfect. There's it was all torn up way back here at the back. There was like this piece of metal kind of curled around there. I had to cut that bit off with a Dremel tool. And you know, it technically doesn't actually meet right there, but I think it'll still do okay. You know, you can see it's a little beat up, but, oh boy. The one hand holding camera dance. Always tricky. So I filled in these holes with some wood putty. Hopefully that's good enough to hold a screw. If not, like I said, I'll just put a longer one in there. These are the lengths of the ones that went in, so there's plenty of room in the wood to put longer ones if I need to. But yeah, like this sits on here reasonably well, and you know, I've filed this down so there aren't any sharp edges back there or anything. It's not like, you know, I could get my fingernail under here if I wanted to with it all the way down. Ooh, I should bend that in just a little bit more, because that's not... Yeah, you can see how that is. Okay, so I'll hammer that down just a little bit more. But yeah, bottom part of this was never bent up, so that fits perfectly. And yeah, I can actually have this on and have the original one. And I like that better. Okay, cool. So I had this bracket off the pad, gotta take that one off too, because I need to flip these up, because I'm finding that they actually kind of slide a little bit on this floor pretty easily. That's not too hard to do. Oh, right, of course, I'm taking them apart. I should take that off before I slide these around. But yeah, so I think the problem is the bottoms of the feet are dirty and dusty, so they're like skating on a layer of dust. If I just flip them up and clean them and put them back down, they should stick to the floor better. I've had that problem before, so just one thing to watch out for. If pads slide around, flip them up, clean the bottom of the feet, put them back down, maybe clean the floor too, just in case. So yeah, I'm going to drill those holes and get that mounted. Sensors, let's see, it's currently late Saturday evening. Sensors are supposed to be arriving sometime Tuesday, and then I'll be able to put those in and pretty much be done with this thing, and that'll be nice. Monday afternoon, new shipment of sensors came in early. So I have these now, yay! They come from Arcade Spare Parts in all these little individual wrappers. This should look familiar if you watched my pad building series. So I got my sensor tester put together a little bit better. I just soldered all the wires together because they were just kind of popping out of the breadboard and it was a pain. So I took one of these out and tested it and it seemed good. Let's see if this random one I've selected is good. If I can plug it in like this. Oh boy, wrangle it into place. LED hasn't come on yet, so that's a good sign. Put it in and... Great, looks good to me. Yeah, that's a very good amount of pressure, not really exhibiting much of that analog behavior. You know, if I squeeze it gently, I can make the LED come on a little bit before it goes full intensity, but actually that's pretty hard to do. It's a very, very crisp threshold when it comes on. Okay, awesome. So I got 12 of these. I'm going to swap them in for the bad sensors I didn't like much. Oh, by the way, I got the feet on this cleaned off. Haven't really played on it since then, but just kind of trying to shift it around with my hands. Yeah, I can't do that like I could do before, just one-handed real easily. So I think it's going to be good. Alright, going to get all these sensors into the places where the bad ones were, and everything should be good. I might have a problem here. So I think I've discovered why the back of some of those sensors was clipped. These do have the rounded heads on them, the new ones that I got, and this doesn't fit in this space. It just doesn't go. There isn't enough room for it. It's just like quarter-inch too long right here. Not really a fan of like cutting off the rubber back there like it was done with some of those others. I suppose if I really wanted to be proper with this, the thing to do would be to put like this into a pump it up pad that I have back there where it can fit like on one of the corner arrows where there's more vertical space, so that doesn't have any trouble fitting, and then take that sensor and put it in here instead. These are all pretty good. I tested them in, well, this is the bad one I'm throwing out, and the rest are just like strewn around the pad where I need to replace a sensor. But yeah, if this one doesn't fit, I wonder if any of the others will. They might not. See, no problem with that, with the plan of putting one in there is that, you know, I gotta pull out that pad and it's buried back behind that. And, you know, I don't have any floor space. So that just sounds like a major pain. Well, I'll come up with some solution. Maybe it'll have to be that, but man, I hope there's another way. Maybe some of these are just shorter? Like, if I'd use this one instead, is it any shorter? You know, it might be. No, laying it on top there, I think it's the same length. Yeah, I mean, why would any of these be a different size? They're all the same. Huh. Well, shoot. Man, that kind of puts a damper in my plans. Alright, maybe I'll have to pull out a pump pad and swap some sensors in there for these, and I don't know, I'll figure something else. Alright, so I've Tetrised my way to get at my actual old Pump It Up GX pads. This is silly. Hope I don't have to leave the room anytime soon or in a hurry, because that's in the way now. Anyway, yeah, so right, this is all shoved up as far forward as it can go, and this just barely fits right here. So that's what the inside of my GX pads looks like. I wonder what the heck I was doing here. Like, those are doing nothing, definitely. Maybe I put those down, decided I preferred these anyway, and just left them there? I don't know what's happening. There was a piece of tape stuck here. Ooh, those are making imprints on my, the back of my panels. Oh yeah, another piece of tape there. That's probably not good. Okay, so got some maintenance to do on this machine. Anyway, but I'm going to take these sensors out, on all the corner panels on the Player 1 pad. Just swap these for new sensors, then these old sensors, which are the shorter, flat-headed type, can go in there and actually fit. And that should work. I know all these sensors are good. Been playing with them for a while. So yeah, this won't get the brand new sensors, but that's fine. They'll get hand-me-downs from here, this will get new sensors, and everything will work out. Okay, we're back in business. Got that back to where it was, pulled 8 sensors out of it, so I can use those here. Got a working sensor in the Player 1 up arrow now. Good. These are just slightly squishier and shorter than these. I noticed when I put all the panels back on there, they were kind of rattling up and down this way because these were where the new ones were. So yeah, those are raised a bit. I'm going to have to tweak that next time I play on it, but that's a problem for later. So yeah, these actually also, I plugged them all into the sensor tester to make sure they were behaving appropriately, and they were all very, very good. I feel like these are like the official Pump It Up sensors. You can also buy these from Arcade Spare Parts. These are the cheaper replica variants. So these are kind of worse in some ways. I'm starting to understand. They're a little too long for In the Groove, or for Pump It Up center panel would also be a problem. So what are these for? I guess just corner panel side sensors. Because like they just don't fit in the other cases without like trimming something or taking out the corner stoppers or something. Yeah, so that's kind of weird. But yeah, I have places I can put these where they will work. But yeah, these, maybe it might be worth the extra money to buy these next time, because they do cost like more than twice as much as those. But you get what you pay for. So yeah, these are better. Alright, gonna get all these into the pad and do lots of sensitivity tweaks, and then I'll be done. Alright, 3.5 hours later, I think I finally have these all tuned to perfection. So I got my input test going here. This should all be pretty much the same amount of pressure in every zone on every one of these panels. The outer corners don't matter much. Okay, so that one's not sensitive, but who cares? So the zones I care about are here, the innermost ones. Those are the most important. And you know, those have been good since I first tuned these. So that's good, that's good, that's good, that's good. And then here, the corners. That's good enough. That's good, 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 good. So all the corners good. Great. Great, great, great. That's a little... It's almost a tiny bit more sensitive than I'd like, but I'm not going to change it. I've been working on this for 3.5 hours and I'm sick of it. Okay, all the corners are good. This one might be a tiny bit oversensitive. And then the side sensors, those are important sometimes for double mode. Not this one so much, but certainly this one. Good, 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 good. Yeah, and this is all like roughly the same amount of pressure. Okay. This arrow's a little noisy if I hit it here, but I won't be hitting it there, like, ever. It's a little noisy there, too, but I'll just deal with it. Alright, I'm gonna have to actually deal with that, yeah. Because that makes noise and it bothers me. Okay, and then these two, those are important. Good. Everything's in good shape. Finally. So other than maybe dealing with this noise, everything's good to go. So I had a weird thing happen with this light. It wasn't coming on after I had taken it out and put the paper in and reconnected it. So I took it off, looked at it, tried connecting it in this spot, and it didn't work. This one worked over there. So I took off the light plate in the back and put it back on and changed nothing else, then it started working. So I don't know what the heck was up with that. Also, yeah, I should mention I got this on. Yeah, looks pretty good. So I did use that wood putty to fill in the holes. It doesn't hold the screws like super great, but you know, they're in there. If I wanted to, I'm sure I could pull this off, but like, I'm not going to. I'll get longer screws someday if I decide it's an issue, but I think it's pretty good. Okay, so with that, I think I'm basically done here. There's a few items left on my to-do list, but I got all the major ones, you know, stuff like peel this off the coin door and repaint it. I get this weird, like, electrical interference on my capture card, I've noticed. Like this... Oh, this is getting it a little bit too. Yeah, the camera's probably not picking it up, but that's a little shaky. Yeah, so I don't know what's up with that. Maybe some stuff to do on the innards. Oh, the software. I got this working a lot better. That's gonna be loud. Be quieter for a moment. Oh, that's way quiet. Okay, well that's fine. Figured out the USB, figured out what I needed to do to get the, all of the, songs loading that I needed to get loading. Load times are pretty decent. You know, it still takes a moment, but it's not too bad. That's a tolerable amount. Yeah, so I got In-Gear Rebirth here, all those steps load. So my solution for stuff like Life of a Butterfly Expert, since I didn't want to mess with the, whatever the heck it is that controls this base song list, I just made a new folder for new charts. So these are all the ones that got expert charts in the PC version of In the Groove, so I have them all here. Some of them are double only, this got an expert double. But yeah, so this whole list just has that. Someday I'll go through the, yeah, all the songs that came with this thing are still inside on in a songs disabled folder. Someday I'll go through those and curate them and decide which ones I want in my main list of songs. But like, I'm pretty happy with this list at the moment. It keeps me entertained, but you know, someday I'll run out of stuff to play. And there's this, one of the best things about this game is you can load just whatever the heck you want onto it. It's just a little bit of a pain to pull out the drive and put songs on there. Okay, great. So yeah, I wanna wrap this up. I'm gonna say I'm done with this machine. Like, yes, there's more on my to-do list, but I am satisfied with this as it is now, with the new sensors in there. Got this pile of old sensors here. These all have X's on them. These are the bad ones. This one is a little bit iffy. I decided to replace it because I had 8, and this was the, like, 8th worst. So this one doesn't have an X on it. It does work. It's one of those cropped ones, but it's not the best thing. So I might take some of these apart, see what's going on with them someday. These are the new sensors that didn't get used, the spares. So I have four spare new sensors that don't actually fit in there, but they'll fit in a pump. Okay, cool. Yeah. So I hope you enjoyed this process. Come to Twitch or just watch my YouTube channel for highlights when I post them of me actually playing on this thing. And yeah, machine's all fixed up. Yay!